This is Kanchan Chanda. I'm a painter, I'm an artist. I paint, I do mixed media, video art, installation, site-specific work, printmaking. This is the first episode in the series Mixed Media in Art with Art, etc. I started my journey long ago, 4.5 decades back, but 2.5 decades back, I started with the mixed media. Earlier, the mixed media used to be very, scattered on the canvases and on the boards. But with the time, the mixed medias became very intricate and very intense, very closely put up together. I started working with mixed media. I would paint on the canvas board. I would paint, or I would take out a printout of the photo of work I had done on Photoshop, and then I would start embellishing it. I would embellish it with sequins, laces, Swarovskis, wrapping paper, found objects in the house, outside, wherever I could find it. So these mixed medias were basically based on torsos, Frida and me, and Hollywood, Bollywood. So there were 3 different topics I used to work on. And over the years, I keep bouncing back to these subjects. Mixed media is very dear to me because it is for me very therapeutic, very meditative, and it gives me a lot of solace. It's like almost like doing yoga. It is important, but it depends from artist to artist. Whether you want to do painting, whether you want to do painting in acrylic or oil, it's a totally very, very personal and subjective thing to do that. But for me, I do mixed media, I do drawings, and I do a lot of paintings. So in the mixed media, I sort of like it is very important for the surface to be stiff. If you're taking a canvas, don't take a stretch canvas, take a canvas on board. You need to have a stiff background so that when you add and embellish objects and material on it, it will not sort of like dangle or sort of bounce. So the background has to be very stiff. For me, it has been a very important part to do mixed medias, and I'm actually known for it. And for me, it's either the mixed medias are black and white, monochromish, or they are very, very colorful. The techniques you can use is there is a little difference between a mixed mediums and mixed media. Mixed medium, you, as the name suggests, you basically take different mediums. You can do painting and then do pastel on it. You can do charcoal on it. That's basically mixed medium. But in mixed media, you take a surface which is either a painted acrylic. It cannot be oil because oil is slippery. Or you take out, or what I do is I work on the Photoshop, and I take out printouts, paste it on a stiff board, and I start working on it. So for me, I start with the main figure, which is, for example, is Frida and me. It's going to be on Frida, and then I start working around it. Sort of it develops. It doesn't have a fixed thing before I start. It goes with the flow. I work with the flow. There is a difference between doing mixed media on 3D sculpture and assemblage. For example, when I started mixed media on sculpture, I started on very simple plastic torsos. And since it became a hit, I thought I should take something more permanent, and I started working on fiberglass sculptures. So I fabricate the fiberglass sculptures first, which are basically torsos, and then I embellish it with a lot of paper cuttings, stickers, some objects on it. And sometimes when I do this, the fiber sculpture, I basically embellish different objects in it. And the difference between that and the assemblage is, as the name suggests, assemblage is you're basically assembling different objects together. Like you could have an assemblage, sort of like you can have a fiber torso and then put something wooden with it or put something brass with it. You are basically doing, you're assembling different objects, and it's how you go about it. It depends a lot on your creativity. The artists who have inspired me over the years are Chris Ofili and Robert Rauschenberg. Robert Rauschenberg is not more for mixed media, but he does a lot of assemblages. And over the years, when I saw his works in books and later when I saw them in Guggenheim Museum in USA, in New York, I happened to also see his retrospective, one of his solo show in Guggenheim. So, that has really influenced me a lot. It has left a big impact, and that is what has pushed me to do mixed media. Though there are many more artists I have been inspired by, but these two are the main who have inspired me. It is difficult to say where you can learn mixed media, because if you go to different institutions, sometimes they have this as a subject. For example, when I visited Chicago in SAIC, I was very impressed by the departments they have. They have a department for laser cutting, for steel, for sewing. So they have different departments. But it is very rare that colleges encourage mixed media. There are some colleges, institutions which do. So it basically depends a lot on you. Of course, there is always the YouTube and Google where you can search and get help from. So there is no particular institution where you can learn it. It can probably be done individually by somebody who does mixed media. I would like to conclude by saying that in art, you should always do something which your heart allows, which you are comfortable in. So you should not force yourself to do a medium which you're not comfortable with. For example, I would definitely recommend that you should try all the mediums, all the possibilities, and all the techniques, and then finally come to a conclusion where you yourself like the medium. For example, when I was teaching and when I help kids make their portfolios, I would ask them to do mixed media because it's something which is very dear to my heart. But I very often found that sometimes the students were not comfortable with the medium, so I never forced them. So art is something which cannot be forced. So if you're comfortable with the medium, go ahead with it. I do hope that you enjoyed this session and you would like to continue viewing the other sessions which I shall be doing. Thank you.